Hey, how you doing? This is Dan McDonald, and I'm the Life Regenerator here on YouTube. Today I have a very special episode for you because I have a very special guest. I consider him my best friend, as a matter of fact, and I know many of you love him and always want more. So let me introduce to you, to those who do not know, Tavis Bradley. Thank you for being on the show today, Tavis.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. Actually, this morning, I looked over out of my window here at the motel where I'm staying, and I saw this figure. And I did not know Tavis was staying here, but I saw this figure over here, and I saw the kitchen that's very similar to ours, and I saw all these products on the counter. I thought, wow, that looks like a really healthy guy, you know? And then it turns out later he texted me, hey, come over and visit. I'm in number 27. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I went oh, that's next door. So anyways, that healthy-looking gentleman who had all the healthy-looking products on his counter that were just shadows was actually my buddy Tavis. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's a real small world after all.
It is. I'm glad that you could show up. We're like neighbors for one more day.
Yeah.
Tavis, you've been real busy, but you've been busy helping people. Is that not correct?
Always in service, always helping, always walking the medicine path. Everything in my world has to do with medicine. So always trying to bring medicine to myself and to every environment that I come to meet. Yeah.
How did you get involved in the medicine?
I got involved with the medicine through my family, through my father, and through our Essene Gospel of Peace connection, and keeps on growing from there and evolving. Yeah. So yeah, it's not where it's not fully mature yet, so it's still in the ripening, growing phase. I think it always will be.
So the Essene lifestyle actually has been a pretty major impact on your life?
Yeah.
The philosophy of the Essenes.
Yeah, the Essene philosophy is beautiful to me because it's capturing the philosophy of tending to the body through health and tending to the thoughts through principles in terms of spiritual axioms, spiritual truths, and then tending to the heart and the feeling body. And then that's like all enclosed in a great drive for service to all of humanity and protecting life in the form of animals and plants and stuff like that. So that's why I like it.
So really it sounds to me like you are devoted to life.
Devoted to, yeah, being in harmony with life.
Right,
yeah.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Which is kind of working our way into some of the subject matter that I wanted to go over today, which we've already mentioned, which was service. Mm-hmm. Because Sophia actually was curious about seeing if we could be of service to you by talking about fulfillment. Because, Tavis and I definitely have different upbringings for sure, but how do we live a life that leads us to personal fulfillment? Mm-hmm. And I know that you live a life of service and I live a life of service. How would you describe the service that you provide right now?
For me, my service has to do with tending to people's wounds, tending to people's wounds in the form of patterns and unconscious patterns. And the body and health is something that I use as an entrance. So for me, my work is more focused on helping people to break out of their patterns and to free themselves from the shackles that they have that are self-imposed, that they've created for themselves, and not to blame them, but they've created them in a relationship due to their external environment and to external programming. So those meet one another, and then you create a contract in terms of a unconscious pattern that you continue to play out until you cancel that contract through your consciousness. Your consciousness has the ability to eliminate a contract, but you have to bring your conscious awareness into it and say, I see this contract that I created in my subconscious, and my conscious wasn't participating, and the conscious is like the federal tax revenue service. It overpowers the state. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, your
if the
conscious
federal
mind
says,
is the state.
the conscious mind is like the federal and federal agency, and the subconscious is the state. So the state only has so much power,
Oh, I see what you mean.
and then the federal actually overrides that. When you bring the conscious mind in, it is the that's where the final say is. So
I look at
that's
that,
how I see it.
and I want to bring this up because you always inspire me so much to reflect on the way I see things too, and that is the beauty and the power of the frontal lobe of the human being. To use that energy and that electricity and that massively large part, that's what makes us human, is the ability to bring that energy and that blood flow and that consciousness to the frontal lobe, which pulls the energy away from the animal unconscious programs. And then you're saying that the conscious awareness and new habits can actually override the old just robotic unconscious programs from childhood and decision making. That was decisions you made over and over and developed neuronal habits.
Yeah, and then there's the traumatized aspect of ourself, that also like ties into the patterns. So the trauma continues playing out through the subconscious patterns. Yeah, so that's it's partially patterns that come from external media programming in our civilization, and then our pain and trauma meets that, and they kind of tie a knot, and they are nothing but binding for us. They're not liberating and freeing, and of course they lead to that through that process. But as they are, they don't offer you freedom. They can guide you to freedom through that path, but everyone has their own choice in whether they want to go down the trauma path to reach their point of destination, or whether they want to go the harmonious path. And I think we trade off as souls during our different lifetimes. So I think we all get a sense and an experience of it all in the end.
Yeah.
I think. I can't prove that, but I feel that souls ebb and flow back and forth, and we have our hard times and our good times, and we trade off, and that's how we appreciate one another's journeys, by having the experience somewhere along the way.
I think that a lot of people might be able to relate to using their pain and trauma as stepping stones into freedom.
Yeah.
And other souls, you're saying, probably don't need to do that. They can just choose harmony. They might have had good karma from birth.
Yeah, but like some souls, like maybe are like monks in this lifetime. Maybe they were born in like Tibet, and they're like a bodhisattva, and they seem like they just have it so easy. They have no obstructions. They have no pain. But that's only what we see in this point in time. What was before that led them to gravitate towards a place of such deep peace? Sometimes I think it's pain and trauma and memories that kind of shift you to take a new route and to find an appreciation for peace and tranquility, beauty. So I can't prove that, but I'm just saying that that's possible.
Yeah, but we might as well have the philosophy, because again, the philosophy wakes up the frontal lobe.
Yeah.
Instead of going, no, my grandpa, we ate squirrel meat, and grandma eats squirrel meat, and I'm going to eat squirrel meat, you dumbass. Take your raw foods and get away from me. Instead of saying, raw foods, electricity, fiber, minerals, that makes sense. Maybe I'll start moving in that direction and evolving into something more than I was, leading to, really, ultimately, freedom. And then there's freedom, and then there's more freedom, and then there's freedom, and then there's avatar freedom, and then there's archangel freedom. It's just, and it just never stops growing in more and more awareness and more freedom. But right now, there's so much heaviness. So we want to really work on the practical levels, which is what you're saying that you do with the food. It's like bottom up, Because that's where most people are. Most people are at eat, sleep, have sex, entertain yourself.
Well, that's why I like to work with people that are terminal, because I don't have to do that. I don't have to start from the physical attraction to choosing a certain style of harmony. It's like they're at the edge, at the vulnerable point where it's like they're open to looking at all of their forgiveness issues, all of their stuff, and so I can go right into the heart, you know, instead of working around the perimeter and then trying to find my way into the heart. So that's why it's so beautiful to find people that are at their breaking point and they're about to cross over.
That's beautiful, and so that's really cool, and we work synergistically in the yin and yang sense. Is that what I'm trying to do is make these videos talking about, yo, eat good, forgive everyone now, because like I'm like a young happy kid.
Yeah.
I want to go play in the sandbox. I don't want to be like inside the house on a rainy day moping around because I feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Because I got all these heaviness. I'm here to like, I want you to be free now, so you don't have to end up at Tavis with bags and bags of resentments and a diagnosis of terminal illness. I'm like, yo, don't even go there. It's not worth it, man. Let's just choose something better now. The sunlight's shining, the oxygen is everywhere, love is completely available to everyone. Let's start now, you know. And so it's really cool that you bring that up, because that sort of points out the importance of my mission. It's like getting them while they're fresh, anywhere they're at. I'm getting them all along the way. Drug addicts, depression, people that are just stuck. And I know what it's like to be stuck. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to be strung out and hopeless. But I want to bring hope to people, you know, by interviewing people like Tavis and sharing my love and the things that I do and just giving hope, because there is hope. Don't you believe?
Always hope. As long as there's breath in life, there's hope. Yeah.
To totally like forgive and forget
Yeah.
and see with the eyes of divinity. And you just see the innocence of everyone and the beauty of everything, even the things that yesterday you thought were bad and negative. You see them as, oh, that's the beauty of the holistic universe that God uses to guide us back to freedom.
Yes.
So we're talking about service today, just because I'm the king of tangents. But really, people want to live a fulfilling life. Do people get stuck on selfishness due to pain?
I think so. Selfishness and pain. I think that, pain is unaware most of the time of others and other happenings in their environment. So it's like, they go hand in hand, I feel.
The person in pain can only think of themselves. I mean, that's from my own experience, as I've had to grow out of that to live a life of service, knowing consciously knowing, oh, all these spiritual teachers that have had massive success are telling me that service is the key to freedom and peace and harmony and happiness and letting go of all this. Well, what about me? What am I going to do? Am I going to pay my bills? Do they like me? I mean, you know, like, just get out there and start digging. And you'll bring that energy to the frontal lobe. And that focus, the frontal lobe is where happiness is. And so service is the way to peace and harmony. And you actually save yourself when you live a life of service. Yeah, I mean,
it's all, when it comes down to it, self-serving, you know, like even service is self-serving, because while you're serving others, you're really serving the greatest version of yourself. And you're bringing that into the light, you know, the greatest version of yourself, and others are able to illuminate that, because when you serve, you see the greatness in yourself easier. So you're shining the spotlight on the greatness, and you capture the greater version of yourself, and then you kind of start to fall in love with a part of yourself again, and so you're really serving that deeper self, which is perfectly fine. It's nothing. Selfishness isn't the worst word in the world, you know. Selfishness, a lot of times it takes coming back to the self, so that you can be yourself, and then you can really inspire others to be their self. So it's not like a terrible thing to be selfish in a lot of different terms. You know?
What would your ideas be on making sure that we're doing the best we can to serve authentically?
I think that's up to each person. You have to know you have to be close to your Tinkerbell within, so to speak, you know? Like, what is your Tinkerbell? Tinkerbell's been with each one of us since the beginning, you know, like guiding us, and a lot of times we push Tinkerbell away, we throw her in a jar and put the lid on it so she can't speak to us, but like when we're listening to Tinkerbell guiding us, then we know when we're serving according to our greatest capacity and in our according to our gifts and tools that we've been given, you know.
Would that be the intuition?
The intuition, yeah, the conscience.
Yeah, and it's like a drive, like, you know, like when I make videos and I go into that place, you know, and then when I stop making the videos, I'm not in that place anymore. It's pretty obvious that, okay, this is what you're meant to do, you know. And so, but it can take some time, and that's why I always say be patient, because there's more people looking for their purpose, looking for a purpose, than there are people living on purpose. And
for sure, yeah.
You know, I remember I had a vision as clear as day. One of the things that changed my life, I was 28 years old and I was desperate. I was praying to God, you know, please give me a purpose. I am just desperate to do something meaningful, you know. And I remember clear as the day, a voice just came from within and it said, you will be 35 before you actually begin to serve your deeper purpose. And I was like, God, that's like 7 years from now, you know? And you know what? But the voice also said, I am preparing you for something great. And then all that praying and anxiety that went with not having a purpose went away. And I said, oh, I'm being prepared. And that's when I began to read. And that's when I began to really focus on doing better with the diet, exercising, practicing meditation, reading spiritual books. And so for the people that are struggling or in anxiety, I want to encourage them to be patient and allow, you cannot get a flower to grow with a hammer, you know? You can sing to it, you can tend to it, you can pull the weeds, you can water it, you can fertilize it, but you can't take a hammer and force it to grow. You can't scream at it and get it to grow. You have to let the flower of your own light come forth on its own. And so if you listen and your intention is to serve, then the flower of your intention to serve and live a life of purpose will blossom. Intention is powerful, is it not?
Yes. Yes, intention is the fire behind the arrow, the thrust behind the arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's going to get where it's going.
Yeah.
You know, for many of us, like for me, I'm a person that has a lot of obstacles to surmount. It's part of my purpose to say, wow, you can go from way down here, and if you keep fighting, you will get where you're going. You know, I mean, not fighting, but just if you keep believing and having faith and persevering through the challenges that arise, for sure.
Yes. I don't disagree with that.
Awesome. So, Tavis, you actually work with people with the food as a starting point?
Hopefully not, actually. I do, but I'm always hoping that I will be able to come through a different door. So it's like maybe 60%, 70% possibly of the time where I have to approach it through food, diet, and physical health. And then I get to have an opportunity to address the real issues that are dealing with the thought patterns and the belief systems and the limitations from the unconscious part of ourselves, you know. That's not really part of ourselves. Unconscious part of ourselves is not part of ourselves, but it is, I call it the shadow, you know. The shadow is, it's like the mist, you know. And the conscious part of ourselves is the sunlight shining through the mist. And so we're always trying to recapture our own light within, to eliminate that mist, to put it to disperse it, so that we can
like the
see
sun
clearly.
burns the clouds.
Yeah,
And the clouds are the unconscious programs.
Unconscious, right? That's how I see it. You know, it's a shadow material.
Is that what we call the ego?
I think you could call it that. The ego is, yeah, it comes from the subconscious because it really honestly believes that it's separate. So it like gives a power to separation when separation has no power. You know, separation is powerless. The only
So
thing
really
that has power,
unity is power.
unity, yeah, is true
The illusion
oneness, yeah.
of division, separation, my team, us against them, may seem to have like a pump up of adrenaline. But
Well,
in the
it has
end,
to feel like that because the ego has to have a sense of itself being something. So it creates a sense of illusion, you know. So it's like the ego is kind of like a con artist within our temple and within the temple of our mind and our hearts, and so it's conning our sweet sacred hearts and minds into believing that we that it actually has power. And when you come back to your true essence, you see how funny it is, and it's just not true.
so that's the ego's job. It's kept us
That's
going.
its destination. Just like a parasite has a destination in the body, once it's given birth to, and once it finds its way into the host, into the body, it has one destination.
It knows
And-
what it wants.
Yep.
It
So,
knows where
and
it
the
wants to
ego,
go.
when it's given birth to, has a destination, and that's to validate itself and to give itself a sense of power, so that it can sustain itself. You know,
So do you think it's afraid to be nothing?
it's afraid to be consumed into the oneness because it feels like it's going to lose its self-worth. You know.
Specialness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as we trot along the road of those virtues, about which I don't think you called it that, but when we started this interview about the Essenes, I call them virtues.
Mm-hmm.
As we start down the road of the cultivation of those virtues become more dispersed, more effulgent, and less personalized. Like, it's not your peace, it's just the field of peace, the field of love, which is available to all as the source of all. And I think, so maybe as the ego is unraveling through spiritual work or the raising of the energy that starts cleaning out the illusions, we get more and more closer to that unity, which is the power, right? Where people heal, that you work with, as they forgive and let go of the attachment to that specialness. Well, he did this to me 25 years ago. Well, now you got cancer. So why don't you try to forgive him, because he don't give a crap. But you are the one who's dying because they're attached to that specialness. They got slighted and haven't been able to let go because how could he do that to me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting thing that's just sort of coming out now that'll give people an opportunity to see what it's really about. Like the food trip. I mean, the way the people are with the food trip, it's like they are with their religion. It's just crazy. And yet we work in the realms of food because we both kind of have a basis as part of the, spoke on our wheel.
Well, it's not separate. I mean, the life force connects to the greatest version of one's journey. You know, like if you're partaking of living currents, then you become the best version of yourself. Just like when you're partaking of living thoughts. There's a cosmic ocean of thoughts that we are part of, and we have access to inferior currents of thought at any moment, and superior. And so, and same as feelings, like our feeling field, like we can access. So it's just about choosing the living current within all three of those domains, the thinking, feeling, and acting body. And they all are completely interwoven. There's no separation. So if you are choosing two and leaving one out, you're going to throw a monkey wrench in the other two. So
that's why I think that you and Lou, a couple of my best friends, and I, as raw foodists, I resonate and I see the weakness in the spokes on the wheel. I'm spiritual. I don't need to eat good. I can just pray over this cheeseburger and I'll be fine. But I have always been one, and this is just me too, and apparently you, it's like, no, everything is real. The food is real. It doesn't need to be religious about it. Don't go crazy, because some of the thoughts that you have about it can be worse than the food itself. Like, I'm a big fat slob is worse than just eating the ice cream and having a good time. But the food and the mind, and it seems like the mind, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different opinion, the mind sort of animates the emotions. You see things, like this is very unpleasant because of your perception, and then your heart goes a little awry. But if you see, like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, my wife, I love you, thank you for being here and supporting me, and your heart opens up. So the mind is very important.
Yeah.
And so it's all very important, and that's one of the things I've been wanting to share, so I'm so glad to have that feedback from you, that we could touch on that, so that people could know that it's all important. And that takes responsibility. And that's what you were talking about earlier with your clients that are terminal. You're trying to get them to see, and I'm trying to get everyone to see, and I had to get myself to see that you are responsible for what's showing up in your life. That cancer doesn't just come out and fly in from Canada and attack you and just make its way into your thing. We are the creators.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't dig it.
We have a lot of like stuff against us in our environment, like the cell phone towers and the EMF waves and the toxic environment, but we still have like the cutting edge and the upper hand in terms of our diseases still, because a thought form and a thought, a momentum behind an actual thought has way more power than an EMF wave. So if we get back to understanding how our transmitters work and everything, then we are definitely the most powerful transmitter on the earth. If we align and synchronize our faculties, thoughts, feelings, and our physical blood and our vital fluids and stuff, then we can. We're never victims, to any environment. We really always have like this power lying within us that we can utilize to shift and shape things.
It's our very source.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing we have against us in this entire existence on planet Earth is fear. Fear is like the most strangest thing, because it's an illusion and it doesn't exist. Fear is not even real. It's like a smokescreen.
It's like a what if.
It is a projection.
What if this happens? Well,
yes, exactly.
Deal with it then, right?
Yeah.
So fear is almost like projecting, or it must come from like future projections of that which is not real or has not happened yet.
It comes from the past and the future. It's like if you had an event before, then you project it into the future. So you're like dancing around the circle that is like the present moment of peace and absence of fear. You're just spiraling around it in this cat chasing its own tail kind of thing. The past is chasing the projection of the future, and then there's this place inside that's actually reality, where the only thing happening right now is what's happening, and those things are just having their own illusionary projective
None
dance,
of that crap ever happens anyways.
Yeah.
It never happens to you.
So that's the biggest thing in this world that humans have to find a way to like put to flight is fear, and when it's coming up, we have to learn to look at it in a way of it being the opposite of reality, the opposite of truth.
Yep.
The opposite of love.
And and in the course of fear, say fear does arise, one keeps walking and realizing that it is
capture it, and you have to capture it and hold it and like say, wait a minute, like and find a way of
to love the fear
and to not to buy into its power, into its validation.
So is a good way, because I like to share concepts here, and that would be, is loving the fear a good concept that the viewer can use to move through it?
Yeah.
Like embracing, like it's
Sure.
okay to be afraid,
Sure.
but it's not real.
Yeah, it's okay as long as your awareness is your conscious mind is realizing that it is illusion. It's not truth. You know, the only thing that's true in essence is like what is actually happening in the moment, and even that has like a lot of illusionary parts to it.
Filters,
Yeah,
of perception. Yeah.
Yeah. So fear, there's really no place in our life for fear. It only creates separation from reality, from truth.
Not enough. Poverty consciousness, greed,
Yeah.
and selfishness again. So really there are two not opposing forces, but there's the sunlight, which is shining upon all, and then there's the cloud of fear, keeping your flowers in your garden from growing. And depending upon how thick the clouds of fear are, the less light gets through. So so it sounds to me like it would be a good idea to cultivate the brightness, cultivate virtues, reach for the highest in your mind that are the attributes of love. Like harmony comes out of love, peace comes out of love. So we get right back. We could have made a 2-second video and just said, hey, love is the answer. Subscribe. Peace.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love is the answer. I found that to be true in my life. It continues to work miracles as I use a contemplative and meditative and self-honest lifestyle. And I practice all the things, the food, forgiveness, positive thinking, self-awareness, self-honesty, and I just want to share that with others because the miracle, the abundance that comes, you know when you're getting to a higher and higher level of peace, you know when you're evolving, and you know when you're not. And evolution is the only thing that really has lasting flavor, is to watch yourself grow into what you've always been, we are the children of the light. That is how Tavis and I connect. As children as Essene brothers, we are children of the light. That's what the Essenes believed. All were children of the light. Just many, many have gone off the path and forgotten. And our job as Essenes, as children of the light, is to remind others that they are that, so they can find peace and harmony and unity arises on the planet for all. Unity consciousness. Excellent, my brother. It's always an honor and to sit within this energy and to share.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more common to experience conversations like this as the evolution of the planet progresses, and I want to congratulate you for being so open and willing to grow and change and evolve into your best self. As we all know that sometimes it can seem like it's challenging as we unravel the knots of the ego, that have a stronghold on us. So, wow, Tavis. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We made another video.
We did, and we will be parting ways again, I believe, tomorrow. And where are you off to next, just to end the video? Anything
I am
exciting?
off to the Los Angeles area, and then I'm off to New York City. Back to get into the dragon's den, try to make a difference.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
He travels around the world. I stay at home and make YouTube videos. I like my style. I like your style too, bro. You go to the people, you work on them, you show them how to live, you change people's lives. That's what it's all about, man.
We're doing the work.
Amen. Such an honor, bro.
It's good to see you again, and good to be in front of your viewers, your family on the other side. abroad.
And they love you very much, Tavis.
I love
You're
them
an
too.
incredible man.
You are too.
I want to say that, nobody has helped me as much as you have, bro.
It's been an honor to be a part
Nobody
of your
has helped
journey.
me to grow and to be a better man than you have, so
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you all so very much. You have given me a purpose. You have filled my heart. You have made me want to work till I will work my fingers to the bone to bring you something that can change your life and give you a sense of love and peace and health and hope and happiness and unity. Thank you.